Then comes the fifth seal, which is like a minor persecution, the blood of the martyrs crying out, "How much longer, Lord?" And the Lord says, "Just a little bit longer." Then comes the sixth seal, which I am convinced personally that the sixth seal is this warning, the warning or illumination of conscience that many people are now beginning to talk about. And I want to say, thank God, we're now starting to see some mainstream Catholics, people who used to kind of mock people like me who were talking about this stuff, back in 2005 and six. Oh, it's just doom and gloom and stuff. Now they're all talking about it. Now they're saying, oh, we're in the end times. And you know what? I just want to say, good, at least you're talking about it. And I hope that my apostolate, because it's based on the church fathers and popes, is going to help Catholics have a sensible and intellectual conversation. But let me just say this warning comes, a great shaking of the entire earth, and people feel that it's the judgment. Why? Something is happening. They see the Lamb who was slain. If you go back a chapter before, it's Christ crucified. And this is what many mystics like St. Faustina said will happen before the day of the Lord, which is not a 24-hour day, but this period of 1,000 years, said the early church fathers, this time of the era of peace, when the kingdom of the divine will reign on earth as it is in heaven. And after this great shaking, we read that the angels at the four corners of the earth are told to stop, do no harm to the land, which says to me, now we're past the point of man-made chastisements. We're about to see divine chastisements. Do nothing until you've marked on the foreheads of all of the faithful, basically. And you see 144,000. And then if you read a little bit further, after in this vision, so St. John describes as 144,000 from the 12 tribes of Israel. Then he said, then I saw those from every nation and people from all tongues. So it's my personal belief that the foreheads are being marked of those Jews after the full number of Gentiles comes in, and we might be very close to that now, that you're seeing the forehead of the Jews. As it says in several scriptures, they will look upon him whom they pierced. That's a reference to the Jewish people. It doesn't mean that the Jew living today is personally culpable for the death of Christ, but it does mean that the Jewish people were the ones who crucified Jesus. And unfortunately, anti-Semitism by some radicals, even within the Catholic Church, has come out of this, and their hatred towards the Jews. And yeah, Freemasonry has come from the Kabbalistic Jews. But that doesn't mean that every Jew is a part of that, just the same as not every Canadian agrees with Justin Trudeau, okay? So I believe you're going to see the conversion because St. Paul spoke about it. He said that after the full number of Gentiles comes in, then the Jewish people will turn back to the root of Jesse that they rejected, and they will accept him, the one they will look upon him whom they have pierced, and they will mourn. But in their mourning, God will give them in this warning. It's a warning, not the end of the world, not the final judgment. It's a warning, a chance to come back to Christ. And I believe that we will see the Jews. Now, some of the church fathers spoke about the Jews being deceived by the Antichrist. So what you might see then is if these are the Jews who accept Jesus as Lord, you might see the rest of the Jews being deceived by the Antichrist. And you will see not only Jews, but you'll see Muslims, you'll see Christians, you'll see Catholics being deceived by the Antichrist. This great apostasy toward the lawless one. This is why now is the time. Is this the previous questioner said you're being moved by grace tonight? Thanks be to God, because that's my goal tonight. It's not just to talk about these horrible things. It's really to shake you in a way that you need to get your life in order with Jesus. You don't know if you're going to live past tonight. Forget nuclear war. You don't know if you're going to live past tonight. People are dying suddenly all over the world, and I hope you've figured out now why they are, but they are dying suddenly. And if you're one of those people who took that thing, you need to get your house in order because you don't know. And then we have all these other things. So that's the point. And then from tonight on, to walk near the heart of Jesus, which is a heart of love and joy and peace. And to anticipate, as Jesus said, lift, when you see these things happening, lift your heads high and rejoice because you know that your redemption is near. We know now that the triumph is near because Our Lady's appearing all over the world saying it. We know it's coming. I think within my lifetime, if I live to the normal old age, I think so. But I don't know for sure, and I don't want to presume it. People thought these things would be fulfilled in the Jubilee around that time. That was 24 years ago. So we shouldn't presume anything, but we also shouldn't fall asleep.
Mm.
But Jesus himself said there will be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. So our Lord is basically saying, look up. And, you know, you want to know what some of the chief signs are right now? When you look up and you see satellites all over. I mean, to the ancients, like St. John, who wrote the book of Revelation, that would have been stunning to look up and see these things floating. I mean, when I
Mm.
first saw
Yeah.
Elon Musk's Starlink, when all my family came out on the deck and we saw them one by one in a trail going across the sky, like it was the creepiest feeling ever. When you look at our telescopes now beaming images from around the world, the universe that no other generation has ever seen, when you see artificial intelligence now within seconds creating fantasies in our minds, maybe these are actually the signs and wonders that
Mm.
St.
Mm.
John was speaking about and Jesus was speaking about. False signs and wonders, because an AI Jesus, an AI image that is not based in reality is false. It's just by definition false. If you create a mountain scene with a river, it's by definition false is where a photograph would be true. You know, and then false doesn't necessarily mean bad, but I have many concerns over AI.
Mm.
I feel the Lord has told me stay away from it. And since the Lord said that to me, I've heard many exorcists say that the devil is using that technology now, speaking through it. Many exorcists say they get texts from people's phones that haven't been used, that the numbers are defunct. They've been getting texts from those numbers during exorcisms with the devil mocking them. So we can see now how the beast and the image of the beast spoken of Revelation 13, I think we can start to see it come together. How everyone worships the image of the beast. Is that artificial intelligence? I mean, it's a question. Um, I think it's one of the concerns that everybody had was when they saw Elon Musk in that satanic costume.
Baphomet.
Yeah, it was a Baphomet costume. Now, let's just keep in mind Elon Musk isn't a Christian. So if we expect people who aren't Christians to act like Christians and we're surprised, then we're being a bit naive. So, I mean, was he wearing a costume just for effect? I don't know.
I
Was
think it
he
was for
wearing it
Halloween.
because is he signaling something? Elon Musk has been quite the trooper in standing up for freedom of speech. I mean, I really appreciate many of the things he says. So here's the conspiracy theory, is that Elon Musk he's just playing it. It's the good cop, bad cop. He's just doing this to draw people and his trust and so on. I don't know. I look at the man and I think there's some good there, but this is why we need to pray for him. Like his Neuralink and all this stuff could be used for
Mm.
great
Mm.
evil in the world. It could be used for good, like therapy, where someone who can't walk gets a Neuralink chip and they can walk. Why wouldn't I want that for
Mm.
someone who's
Mm.
paralyzed?
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think you just need to pray for him. And Jesus commanded us, do not judge. So I think this is where, and I hate the word conspiracy theory. It's used to shut down intellectual debate. I just think we need to be careful that we don't, as Christians, every time someone like Elon Musk comes along, we weave this conspiracy that they're up to evil. And I see Catholics doing this all the time, and it's exhausting. Like, let's just recognize where there's good. But, you know, Jesus said, be gentle as a lamb, but as wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove, rather, but wise as
Mm.
serpents. So
Mm.
when someone who we don't trust maybe comes to us, we need to, in a sense, give them our trust, but being wise too, that if we've been played before, I'm going to be cautious with you. And I think we need to be cautious with Elon Musk because, as far as I know, the man hasn't converted to Christianity. And he's dealing with stuff right now that I think is very dangerous for humanity. So I'm praying that he will go in the right direction.
Welcome to Mother and Refuge of the End Times. We are excited to be releasing our 4th book of prayers, introducing our most comprehensive book of prayers to date, entitled My Daily Prayer Book, Hope of a New Heaven and a New Earth. This collection of the most beautiful prayers is dedicated to and inspired by the Queen and Mother of the End Times. As is seen on the cover page, immerse yourself in the profound richness of Catholic tradition with Mother and Refuge of the End Times, My Daily Prayer Book. This meticulously curated collection features prayers for every moment and every occasion, providing spiritual support and inspiration throughout your day. Begin each morning with powerful prayers like the morning offering in the prayer to obtain the grace of all the world's masses. Deepen your devotion with prayers dedicated to the divine will and the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Honor significant moments with consecration prayers, including those to our Blessed Mother, Saint Joseph, in the most Sacred Heart of Jesus. Engage in heartfelt devotions to the precious blood in the Holy Rosary, and find comfort in the timeless supplications to Our Lady. Enhance your spiritual armor with prayers for protection, conversion, reparation in the Holy Trinity. This comprehensive prayer book also includes special sections for confession, Mass, the Holy Souls, bedtime, and saint intercessions, ensuring you are spiritually fortified at all times. Perfect for personal devotion or as a thoughtful gift, this prayer book is your companion in faith, offering solace, strength, and a deeper connection with God. Enrich your spiritual journey today and embrace the power of prayer with Mother and Refuge of the End Times, My Daily Prayer Book. As always, we thank you so much for your support of this ministry, and may the Lord always shed His grace and love upon you.